السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعين به ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا. أما بعد، جزاكم الله خير. My dear brothers and sisters, inshallah, we'll be continuing our series with Fiqh of worshiping. Last time we spoke about and we started to talk about the etiquettes of the masjid, and we still continue in the chapter of Salah, Fiqh al-Salah. And today we're going to continue to talk about what are some of the etiquettes, which means what are the the good things that the Muslim can do while he's at the masjid. The very first thing, brother and sister, that we need to think about is why are you going to the masjid, which is an niyyah. A lot of people nowadays they go for possibly they could go to the masjid for different reasons, because he want to meet someone, because he need to see someone, because he needs someone to see, or he need to give someone something, or etc. It's very important, brothers and sisters. This is part of the etiquette of the masjid, that we go for the masjid for the right reason, because otherwise, um, otherwise, you have wasted your journey to this blessed place. Now, a question here: can someone have multiple niyas, multiple intentions? Yes, he can. Like for instance, I want to pray and I want to see someone. That's okay. And I want to pray and I want to give someone something else. That's possible. But the thing is here also is that we have to make sure that our intentions are clear with ourselves. And that's very important, brothers and sisters. So one of the etiquettes of the masjid is that we make sure that we go to the masjid for the right reason. Also, one of the things that a lot of people are lacking in doing is that we dress appropriately when we go to the masjid. التزيين قبل الذهاب المسجد. That يعني we have to look nice. You have to look decent. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, يا بني آدم خذوا زينتكم عند كل مسجد. Oh sons of Adam, take your beauty, when you go to the masjid. Prophet Muhammad said, وإذا صليتم إذا صلى أحدكم فليلبس ثوبيه فإن الله تعالى حق أن يتزين له. He said, whoever go to the masjid, let him wear the best of his clothes. Let him wear the best of his clothes. Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is most, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have more right that we beautify ourselves for him. Okay? So it's important for us that we look nice when we go to the masjid. Okay? Also, one of the things that, brothers and sisters, that and small things that we could do that could have an impact in the way we enter the masjid. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam have taught us a dua, and this is dua. If someone repeated it once or twice, inshallah he would remember it. But before I could talk about the dua, I want you to understand. I want you to understand the, the impact and the meaning and the mindset of when someone make that dua. Look at what Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam have taught us when he used to enter the masjid. He used to make this dua. He said, "Allahumma ij'al qalbi nuran, wa fi lisani nuran, waj'al fi sam'i nuran, واجعل في بصري نورا واجعل من خلفي نورا ومن أمامي نورا ومن فوقي نورا ومن تحتي نورا اللهم أعطني نورا." What a beautiful dua that someone can do. So, oh Allah, that's what it means. Oh Allah, make light out of my heart, and make light out of my tongue, and make light out of my ears, and make light out of my sight, and make what's behind me light, and what's in front of me light, and what's underneath me light, and what above me light. Oh Allah, make me light. Meaning that, brothers and sisters, you're asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make you a source of light, a sort of guidance, a source of teaching people good things, a source of in which that you are not committing and doing wrong. And what a beautiful thing that someone would as soon as he entered the masjid, he's making that beautiful dua. Again, you could easily look this dua up, and it's one of the most beautiful duas that someone can think about when he goes to the masjid. What a beautiful thing to think about. Also, when you go to the masjid, walk lightly, walk and don't run. And that's the issue. One of the things that a lot of people would, especially if someone is going late to the masjid, don't run, because imagine if you catch the prayer while you're huffing and puffing, how much tranquility you would have? Nothing. You would be, I mean, your first rak'ah, you're just thinking about trying to calm yourself down. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, إذا أقيمت الصلاة فلا تأتوها وأنتم تسعون وأتوها وأنتم تمشون. If the salah was established, don't come to it while you're running. Come to it while you are walking. And also, another etiquette of the masjid is that when you go to the masjid, go walking. The thing is, in the era of laziness, people nowadays take a car for everything. Even if it was a short distance, walk, walk. It's healthy for you. It's one of the ways for you to erase the sins. I mean, again, we talked about this many times, that you, with each and every step that you take, you erase a sin and you get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with another step, and etc. Okay. Even though that's another etiquette of the masjid, even though it's recommended that we go to the masjid while we are wearing our best of our clothes, and we're supposed to be looking nice, but that does not mean for us to, to cross any red lines. And when we do, we see this when with some of the sisters, when they enter the masjid, they wear clothes that are not appropriate, or they would put perfume on. And as again, for a sister to put on perfume, it's considered to be a huge, one of the is considered to be a sin. You know, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, إذا شهدت إحداكن المسجد فلا تمس طيبا. If any of the sisters enter the masjid, let her not put perfume on. Again, this is considered to be a form of adultery, and this is something that, I don't think anyone can handle the sins of that. Another hadith, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, أيما امرأة أصابت بخورا فلا تشهد معنا العشاء. Any woman who have put on perfume or bakhur, incense, let her not come to the masjid. So again, the point here, again, you're going for the masjid. Why? For you to worship Rabbil Alameen, not for other people to to smell to smell your scent. Now, sometimes we are required to explain this a little bit further. Some of the sisters might say, "Well, how come the guys are allowed to put perfume on?" That's a good question. That's an excellent question. See, my dear respected sister, when a guy smell a scent of a woman, it's not like when a woman smell a scent of a guy. Why? Because we are biologically different, and science have proven that. When a guy smell a perfume of a woman, it's extremely seductive, meaning that he might he might feel seduced by that scent, meaning that he's feel like he feels it attractive. In the contrary, it's not the same way for a woman when they smell a guy. The guys are we're tough by nature. We're hairy individuals. We're not like women. We're not as seductive as women. We're not as attractive as women. So that's the thing. Subhanallah, Islam came along to address these small details that exist in the mentality of the guy and the mentality of the woman, and how we are different biologically. And subhanallah, this is something, even if you, even biologically speaking and even scientifically speaking, this could be proven, that the smell of a woman is much have more greater impact in a man, for sure. Okay. But subhanallah is something that we have to keep in mind and explain, because sometimes people always want to make sure they want to show that women are and men are equal in everything. No, men and women are not equal in everything. There are certain things that women are better than men, and they can do better than men, and there are certain things the men can do better than women. But subhanallah, but in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, both are equal. Another sunnah of the Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, another etiquette, I think not a lot of people I think nowadays would know about, is that عدم التشبيك الأصابع. That we shouldn't do this while we are waiting for the prayer. Like we shouldn't cross our fingers. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, and he was addressing one of the Sahaba, he said, يا كعب إذا كنت في المسجد فلا تشبك بين أصابعك فأنت في الصلاة ما انتظرت الصلاة. Oh Ka'ab, if you are entering into the masjid, don't cross your fingers like this, because you are considered to be in the state of prayer as soon as you enter the masjid. So what's the wisdom? Like, what is the point of me not crossing my fingers while waiting for salah? Okay, and again, that's an excellent question. So imagine, brothers and sisters, let me ask you this. When someone is in an interview, does his physical presentation matter? Yeah, for instance, if someone, while you are in an interview, somebody start rolling his eyes, is that nice? Of course not, because that's considered to be a sign of disrespect. Or for instance, someone raising one eyebrow and lowering the other one like this, is that considered to be a way of respect? Of course not. So again, when you are in the masjid, crossing your fingers like this, it's considered to be as if that you're rushing through this. You want to get it done with, like, oh, let's finish this. That sort of thing. And that's what it means. No, that's what it could be translated. So, hey, this khalas, you're waiting for it. But you could put your hands in any sort of way, but don't cross your fingers. Okay. Also, it's a sunnah that when you're entering the masjid, you enter it with your right leg. Okay. And also, it's a sunnah when you're entering the masjid, you make the dua of entering the masjid, which is Bismillah, wassalamu ala Rasulillah, Allahumma ighfir li dhanbi, waftah li abwab rahmatik. Oh Allah, Bismillah, and salah and praise on our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Oh Allah, forgive my sin. Oh Allah, open for me the doors of mercy. Okay. Again, this is a common dua, and there is other version of that, but any version of that is fine, as long as you say Bismillah, Allahumma iftah li abwab rahmatik, and that's maybe a shorter version of that. Okay. Also, again, it's always important, brothers and sisters, that when you enter the masjid, don't forget the sunnah of tahiyyat al-masjid. When you are the sunnah of being welcomed into the masjid, which is 2 rak'ahs. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as soon as he entered the masjid, he used to pray 2 rak'ah, tahiyyat al-masjid. Okay. Now, we talked about this before. Is it possible that someone could have multiple niyas for a non-fard salah? Of course. I'm going to say this again. Is it possible that someone can have multiple niyas, multiple intentions for the same salah that is not fard? Yes. Like, for instance, let's say I made wudu. And there is a sunnah for making wudu. We talked about this before. As soon as you make wudu, there is a sunnah to rak'ah that you make wudu. And let's say I'm going into the masjid before dhuhr, and there is a sunnah for salat al-dhuhr, for instance, 4 rak'at. And also there is, I have not prayed tahiyyat al-masjid, which is the 2 rak'ahs, entering the masjid. So can I have 3 intentions for the same 2 rak'ahs? Yes, you can. In which that I'm praying, let's say I'm praying 2 rak'ahs and I have the intention of tahiyyat al-masjid, sunnat al-wudu, and the sunnah of dhuhr, 3 in 1. And you will get, can you also pray 2 and 2 and 2? Yes, you can. But if you want to have multiple intentions for that same sunnah, it's possible too. Now, can I do this with fard? No. Fard, obligatory prayer, you only can do one intention, which is the intention of that salah. Salat al-Dhuhr, Salat al-Asr. Okay? Understand? Okay, and etc. Also, brothers and sisters, that it's important when we are entering the masjid that we give the masjid its right and its magnitude. تعظيم المسجد, making sure that the masjid is great. Again, have the greatness of the masjid, have a great have a high impact in our sight. Okay, so it's not a place of joking and etc. We have to make sure that we respect the masjid. Okay. Now let's say let's say the adhan started and I am in the masjid. Can I leave the masjid before the salah is started? I'm going to say this question again. Let's say they have made the adhan for Salat al-Asr. Can I go home and come back? No. I have to stay in the masjid if the adhan is made, and I cannot leave. Prophet Muhammad said, إذا كنتم في المسجد فنودي بالصلاة فلا يخرج أحدكم حتى يصلي. If you were in the masjid and the call of prayer is made, let him not anyone leave the masjid until he pray. So you have to pray, and then after that you could go. You can go and come back. Okay. It's better. Part of the etiquette of the masjid is you go to the masjid early. Okay. And that's part of that's the sunnah of coming to the masjid early, that when you are entering the masjid you say Assalamu alaikum. Okay. As part of the respecting the masjid, that's not the masjid is not a place of selling and buying. Yes, nowadays you see some people, they go to the masjid because they want to strike a deal or sign a contract, or he might sell things inside of the masjid. Prophet Muhammad said in a very clear hadith, إذا رأيتم من يبيع أو يبتاع في المسجد فقولوا له لا أربح الله تجارتك. If you saw someone, he's selling and buying in the masjid, tell him, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala don't give you profit on what you are selling. So again, that shows that the whole intention here is that you want to purify yourself of other intentions while you go into the masjid. No, you're not going there to buying or selling. You're going there for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to worship him. Okay. Another etiquette of the masjid, and this is we see this quite often, sometime in Fajr or sometime during the times of Ramadan. You see some people, they reserve spots in the masjid, and this is not from the sunnah. Okay. It was known that Prophet Muhammad صلى الله عليه وسلم ونهى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أن يوطن الرجل مكان أو مقام, that Prophet Muhammad صلى الله عليه وسلم he outlawed and he made it not allowed that someone would reserve a spot in the masjid. He would say, oh, this is my spot in the masjid. That's haram. Prophet Muhammad صلى الله عليه وسلم told us not to do that, because otherwise, subhanallah, this is not your house that you could reserve a spot to it. If you left and someone came along, this is a spot. As long as you're in a spot, this is yours. But if you leave and come back, you lost your spot. Okay. Also, brothers and sisters, that we shouldn't be crossing between the people who pray. If you're coming late, don't cross between people who are praying or between the people. Sit where the last person have sat. Don't try to push for the first row and you came and half an hour late. You are late. And respect your position. You cross over people, and then you might bump into the people just so you could go into the first line or second line, but it's not your spot. You came late. So again, the issue here is that it's the Prophet ﷺ told us not to do that. That someone people would be crossing over other people. And also, it's important that we shouldn't be taking the masjid as a way to get to another destination. Like for instance, if the masjid, if the masjid is like in a way, don't get into the masjid to يعني to cross the masjid, walk through the masjid to get to another destination. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam not told us not to do that. He said, ولا تتخذوا المساجد طرقا. Do not use the masjid as a street, meaning that you would go into the masjid so you could get to the other street or your final destination. Okay. Also, as part of the respect and the etiquette of the masjid, that you're not loud in the masjid, because especially when someone is making dhikr or reciting Quran out loud, yeah, there's other people who are making dhikr just like you. There are other people who are reciting Quran just like you. Don't raise your voice, and so you could disturb others. Okay. Part of the etiquette of the masjid, also, brothers and sisters, is that when we are starting the prayer, that we stand beside each other. Stand what? Behind each other, beside each other. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, لا تسوون الصفوف أو ليخالفنا الله بين صفوفكم. He said, you shall align the rows, or Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala might make difference among you. And subhanallah, that's actually true. You see people who are they don't want to sit beside each other, because there is differences between them. So sit down beside each other. Sit down beside each other. Don't have the shaitan sit between you. Be a close, to each other while you're praying. Okay. Also, and again, this is something that unfortunately have been abandoned nowadays, is that the masjid should have a dedicated entrance for the guys and for the girls and for the women. Now, some people might say, well, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or the Kaaba, no such thing exists. Yeah, in the Kaaba, you cannot judge what happens in the Kaaba to the other masajid. Why is that? And if we're doing this, because the thing is, the Kaaba is you almost cannot control. It's almost uncontrolled, the situation there. You have people coming from everywhere, and then you have 17 entrances, and everybody's coming from. So maybe some people, you have families that are coming with each other, and they don't want to get lost with each other. So, but yeah, subhanallah, one of the things that we know of, that the Sahaba have said. They said, لو تركنا هذا الباب للنساء. The Prophet ﷺ, one time he pinpointed a door. He said, if we have left this door for the women. So why? Because the point here is that you don't want to have mixing between either gender. It's not like just like we are, so people go there, and they're focused in their prayer. Not there, it's not like they're going there just to see, for a woman to see a guy, or for a guy to see a woman. Okay. So this is very important, brothers and sisters, and it's a way for us to keep ourselves focused. Okay. If there is as long as there is distinction, I think that you should think بإذن ta'ala it can be fine. Okay. عدم دخول المسجد بالسلاح مسلولا. We shouldn't be entering the masjid with someone showing off their weapons. Yeah, for instance, nowadays you see people, they're showing their guns or whatever. Because that's a show. It's a place of peace. It's a place of tranquility. It's not for people to be scared. Okay. Again, that's not a way, and that's not the sunnah of entering the masjid. So this are some of the few things that we spoke about today, that talks about the etiquettes of the masjid. What some of the things that we need to consider when we are entering the masjid. Okay. So before we move forward, I think we talked about many things last time, and this time. So, is there any questions from our live audience, or from for people who are listening to us now, before we end this with the night ta'ala? Any questions? let's see. Okay. So let's okay. So let me test you guys. Okay. So where is the very first thing? Well, I guess people they have left already. It's okay. So maybe there is not much not point for testing now. خير إن شاء الله. So if there is يعني if there is no questions إن شاء الله بإذن الله تعالى we could finish this. And إن شاء الله I see you guys بإذن الله تعالى next week. جزاكم الله خير. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
السلام عليكم.